All right, so welcome. My name is Courtney Yaki. I'm with the F&M Regional Growth Alliance. Thank you for joining us today. I'm actually here representing the Business Navigator Alliance of South Central and Southeastern Illinois. Today, we're going to talk about the Back to Business Grant Program, the B2B, which just got announced yesterday by the governor and the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity. Very exciting things that are going on right now. We've had a data to really digest and put this presentation together and wanted to get something out quick to people. So to get us started, what is the Business Navigator Alliance of South Central and Southeastern Illinois? And so what we are is we're a regional collaboration in that we have received a grant through the 2021 Small Business Community Navigator Program. And we consist of professionals throughout 6 counties. Part of the regional collaboration is Angela Griffin for Coals Together, Lori Miner for Sullivan, Illinois Chamber and Economic Development, Risa Shaner for the Crawford County Development Association, Jennifer Bishop for the Marshall Area Chamber of Commerce, and Bob Colvin, Freddie Smith for the Paris Economic Development Corporation, and then myself, Courtney Yaki, with the F&M Regional Growth Alliance. So through this grant, we are able to bring this together and have some resources, provide professional outreach and technical assistance for state and federal economic relief programs. So we're going to do this outreach and offer technical assistance from now through the end of the year. And really want to work with our local businesses, one, to ensure that they are competitive in applying for these necessary resources. And our goal is to position you for success. And we're going to do that by helping accelerate business recovery and growth. So for the Business Navigator Alliance, you can see over on your screen there is a map of South Central, Southeastern Illinois. You can see where we're located. We intend to host several webinars like this, where we intend to do outreach events, host virtual office hours, and that through the grant, we have some professional services and have retained an accountant, an attorney, and a consultant to help and to assist us through this process. And we're going to offer one-on-one technical assistance. You see a website there, the www.ilbusinessnavigators.com. That's navigators with an S. That is a website that we've recently launched, and it is to assist in the outreach efforts and provide a central point for information. And really, it's going to be your one-stop shop for various programs that come out throughout the year. This recording is going to be on there. Any supplementary documents and materials that we put is going to be on there. You can go there to sign up for our newsletters and updates, and really where we're trying to feed information out to the Southeast and South Central Illinois region as a whole. So what we're here today to discuss is the Back to Business Small Business Recovery Grants. As noted, just announced yesterday, and the applications actually open next week, Wednesday, August 18th, and they'll be open through Wednesday, October 13th. So again, just released yesterday. We've been digging into the info. Today for this webinar, we intend to do a program overview. Going to discuss eligibility criteria, key priorities, and application requirements, and touch on some of the frequently asked questions. Now, these documents that we've been digging through, they're going to be on our website. We're also trying to work to put one-pagers together to make it a little more simple and to easier to navigate. But today we're going to do a broad overview, if you will, really start diving into it. And then also today, you don't have to just hear from me. I've got a co-host here, Jennifer Bishop, who's going to help with the presentation. So to start, what is the Back to Business program? The Back to Business Grant Program is part of the state's economic recovery plan. Its objective is to deploy recovery grants to small businesses hit hardest by the COVID-19 pandemic. These funds are provided to the state through the American Recovery Plan Act, ARPA or ARPA. The program is offering $250 million to those that experienced losses in 2020. Grant sizes are going to range from $5,000 to $150,000. And then for hotels, it's up to $250,000. And it's for businesses that experienced losses in 2020 due to the pandemic and those businesses that had less than 20 million in gross revenue can apply. So small businesses. For the program, and to ensure that they're hitting those hard, they're reaching those hard hit businesses, there have been some set asides out of that 250. They've set aside 100 million for the businesses that are located within the disproportionately impacted areas, the DIAs. Now, the DIAs, these are zip codes that have high COVID rates and also have high poverty rates. So if you're familiar with last year's, some of the programs that come out last year, such as the business interruption grant to the BIG, it's the same DIAs that was identified there. We'll have a link to the map to be able to see if you're in that area on our website, and the link to the map is on DCO's website as well. For other set asides, they've set aside 30 million for arts and entertainment. And now this 30 million is for arts and entertainment businesses that have not previously received the Shutter Venue Operators Grant. 25 million for restaurants and taverns. There again, restaurants and taverns that didn't receive the restaurant revitalization funds. 25 million for hotels. And then 25 million for businesses that didn't receive the business interruption grant due to the exhaustion of funds. And a little more on that is if you had applied for a big grant last year and you were in queue, you were eligible, you were to receive a grant, but unfortunately the funds had exhausted prior to receiving that grant, there is a set aside. You do get a little prioritization in the B2B program here for that. Now you still have to apply, you don't automatically get it. It's still a competitive process, but it does move you up in the queue. So looking at eligibility criteria, to apply, you must be an independently owned and operated for-profit corporation or limited liability corporation, partnership, or sole proprietorship authorized to conduct business in the state of Illinois and or a nonprofit. Must have been operating during or before December 2019. Must have had less than 20 million in gross operating revenue in calendar year 2019, or a prorated amount if in operation for less than a year prior to December 2019. Hotels must have less than 35 million in gross operating revenue in the calendar year of 2019 to qualify. You must have experienced a loss in revenue of at least 5,000 in 2020 due to economic disruptions related to the COVID-19 pandemic. You must have had reduced operations due to the government orders, public health guidelines, or depressed consumer demand during the COVID-19 pandemic. And you must have complied with all relevant laws, regulation, executive orders from the state and federal government, including social distancing guidelines, promulgated by the executive orders of the Illinois governor. Now, mind you, we ran through that. It's quite a bit to look into. This is being recorded. This stuff will be on our website for additional information. But there is a list of businesses that are not eligible as well. I just want to touch on those. They had 20 points, 20 businesses that are not eligible. And for example, independent contractors or freelancers or freelance workers that do not operate as a sole proprietor are not eligible. Child care providers that have received and or registered for child care restoration grants. A public club or business that limits memberships for reasons other than capacity, a business that derives a majority of its income as a owner of real property that leases that property to a tenant or tenants under a lease agreement, and then also like an employment agency, a pawn shop, a liquor store, they're not eligible. There is a list. That list will be on the website. That list is on the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunities website as well, but at least wanted to touch on a few points. One thing to definitely note here is that if you opened your business in 2020, you're not eligible for this program. To be eligible for the B2B program, a business would have been opened in 2019. You would not have needed to be open for the entire year. If you were just open for during 2019 for part of the year, they'll analyze your revenue and calculating the grant award. But do note that if you opened your business in 2020, you're not eligible for this program. There has been discussion and talk by DCO of coming out with a program for businesses that started after January 1st of 2020, but no details have yet to be provided. And to continue on with this presentation, I'm going to give it over to Jennifer to discuss key priorities and application requirements. And Jennifer, are you muted?
Yes, I was. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Courtney. I just wanted to mention that the allocated amounts are not just for the 6-county region. This covers the entire state. So your applications need to be competitive. The state is looking at key priorities, the hardest hit industries. You can see those on your screen: hotels, restaurants, and bars, as long as you did not receive the Restaurant Revitalization Fund. Basically, if you've received any other funds, PPP, the EIDL, the Shutter Venue, anything like that, even if it is a municipality grant that was given to you at any point, that you can still apply, but that pulls you down on the totem pole a little bit. But it also includes arts and organizations, clothing, let's see, arts and education, service providers for organizations of the arts, clothing and electronics, and this does exclude e-commerce. 50% of your revenue needs to be derived from on-site, not electronic orders. Dry cleaning and laundry services. This does include excludes coin-operated dry cleaning or laundry services. Home health care services. Child care providers, as long as they have not received the child care restoration grants. Barbershops, anyone providing hair, nail, and other services related to certifications, such as aesthetics, nail technology, and a synopsis of each of these will be on our website and the DCO website as well. So this does include indoor recreation, fitness activities, bowling alleys, skating rinks, trampoline parks, anything like that. Your facility must be greater than 100 people. Again, all this will be on the website. Gym and fitness centers, open to members, to the general public, as long as does not include businesses that exclude and provide mobile or remote access. So this must be a physical location for gym and fitness centers. Tourism and group transportation. This excludes taxis, limos, and rideshare. Let me see. So let's see. It does include campgrounds, agritourism, tourism guides, tour operators, travel agents, those types of things. Spectator and social event support services. These are businesses that provide services for events, including rental equipment, preparation, hair, makeup, caterers, photographers, event planners. And then you also go into museums, movie theaters, as long as they have not received the Shutter Venue grant. There are also other hard hit areas, and those are businesses that have yet to qualify for state funding or any federal assistance. So again, those are the PPP, the EIDL, the Shutter Venue type of assistance. So if you have not received anything, you definitely need to apply for this. And this also includes businesses that have less than 5 million in revenue in 2019.
Perfect. And just to continue on with the hard hit areas, a lot of those areas that they receive prioritization are those businesses that are located in the DIA's disproportionately impacted areas. And then the less than 5 million in revenue gives you a prioritization in the program, but you are eligible to apply if you made 20 million or less.
And we'll put the disappropriated area is by zip code, and we will put that document with all the zip codes for the state that are eligible for a DIA on our website as well.
Yes, and there'll be a link to that map. That map is interactive. You can zoom in just like Google Maps you could, and be able to see exactly where your business is located to identify whether you are in a DIA or not. So it's pretty neat. You'll shouldn't be any questions towards it.
Am I proceeding?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what do you need to be able to be ready to apply for this grant? It is, to me, this is not as intrusive as many grants that have been provided out by the state. So I think this is pretty well self-explanatory. You're going to want general information, the owner's first name, last name, email address, the title. You will have to provide your personal social security number. Of course, you need the address of your location. It's going to want to know your race, your gender. It'll want, because then you'll want to go into business information. So your legal name, it'll want to know your EIN or your social security number. They'll also want to know all of your website, Facebook, any of your social media that you might have. They'll want to know how your business is organized, whether it's a sole proprietor, general partnership, limited partnership, S Corp, C Corp, non-for-profit. The 3 types of non-for-profits that are eligible is a 501c3, a 501c6, and a 501c9. I'm sorry, is that a 19? My bad, 19. We'll double check on that. That doesn't seem right. They're going to want to know which industry best represents your line of business, and they'll have something to choose from for that. You're going to want to know, you want to have your 2019 federal tax return, your 2020 federal tax return. You must have a bank statement from between April and December of 2020 that reflect business expenses, your most recent business bank account, an official document that reflects your current business address. And that can be a utility bill, credit card bill, whatever has your business address on it. And then you'll also want to have your W-9 as well.
And for the W-9 in the application, they asked for information about the W-9. So I at least wanted to put that there as a required document. I'm not sure if you'll have to actually submit a W-9, but at least you need the information off of it. I'm assuming that you'll have to submit it. So we've covered a lot today, and it seems like we've covered it quickly, but wanted to run through some of the frequently asked questions that we've received as supporting materials for this program. Again, the full list of frequently asked questions will be added to our website, that ilbusinessnavigators.com, and then also can be found at the Department of Commerce Economic Opportunities website for the Back to Business program. But what everybody wants to know is, how will grant sizes be determined? And grants will be equal to 1/6 of the decline in gross receipts. That says gross, I'll have to correct that, from 2019 to 2020, according to federal tax documents, rounded up to the nearest 5,000. So what does that mean? What they're going to do is take the difference between your 2019 and your 2020 revenues, divide that by 6, and round up to the nearest multiple of 5,000. Effectively, it's 2 months worth of your average year-over-year revenue decline. The second question, can I receive funds if I've already received the PPP, the restaurant program, the sheltered venues grant, or the business interruption grant, or any other programs? So it says yes, yes, you can. And I would encourage you to apply. The way they are reviewing applications is through the prioritization. So are you in a DIA? Did you make less than 5 million? Have you not received other emergency support? So that really trying to get out to those hard to hit businesses, hard to reach businesses, those that have not qualified for support to provide it to them. But there's also funding available for everybody else. Just have to realize that you're not as high in the queue as they review applications, and they're going to review applications on a rolling basis, and they're going to be awarding grants on a rolling basis. DCO anticipates that they'll start awarding grants 2 to 3 weeks after the application goes live, and I would encourage people to apply and to apply early. They say it doesn't matter when you apply because it's based off prioritization, but it's better to start sooner than later. Another big question, especially when we got that came up a lot for big, was, are sole proprietors eligible to apply? And yes, you are eligible to apply. And then what are eligible and ineligible uses for the B2B grant funds? So grant funds can be used in a wide range of operational expenses, including rent, mortgage payments, payroll, inventory, insurance, and more. We are to get a list and have additional information on what are the eligible uses. This is all that we have currently. Again, this program just got launched yesterday, and the application is not even open yet. But what's important is that any expenses that have been or will be reimbursed under any other program backed by federal funds are not eligible. Effectively, you can't double dip. And then the last frequently asked question I wanted to identify during the webinar here is, can I apply and receive back to business grants if I was open last year, but my business is now permanently closed? And unfortunately, no. Businesses have taken any material steps to dissolve, permanently cease operations, or selling substantial all of their assets prior to receiving an award, or even after submitting the application, are not eligible. You have to be operating, and then you had to have been operating in 2019. So applications open August 18th. The portal will be open on DCO's website. That is a link to the web page where the portal will be. We will have that on our website. If you just Google DCO Back to Business, Illinois Back to Business, Illinois B2B, that one may be a little more tricky, but should be able to find it. The ilbusinessnavigators.com website will have everything that you need to be able to get to where you need to go. So I do want to thank everybody for listening to this today. I believe we've had some questions come up in the chat that we've tried to address. And if there's additional ones, please put them in the chat now, and we'll give an opportunity to try to answer some of your questions. Again, visit our website, sign up for the newsletter. You can see to the side the contact information for each county that the Business Navigator Alliance is made up of. And to second Jennifer, you don't have to be in one of these specific counties to apply for this program. Anybody in the state of Illinois operating can, as long as you're eligible for it. And we're here to assist wherever possible. I think I speak for the group as a whole that we all believe a lot in regionalism, and just want to see our businesses prosper and grow. So we have panelists here. We've got Lori, Angela, Freddie, Kayla, and Jennifer. I wasn't able to see what the chat was. I was kind of going back and forth during Jennifer's presentation, but I had the PowerPoint on. Do we have any questions that have currently come up that we want to address, or any questions that came up throughout the presentation that we might make sure that the other attendees have heard or need to hear?
Courtney, I'll just make a point real quick that if you need help with finishing filing your taxes or accounting help, please reach out to one of us. That's what we're here for. We have those resources ready, available. That was part of the Navigator grant. So one of the 6 of us should be your contact throughout the entire process. We cannot physically apply for a business, but we can help you meet your end goal.
And yeah, so resources from the grant, we can direct you to somebody for doing taxes. We can't pay for you to have your taxes done, but we can assist in that process. There's a lot we can do, but very important, if you did file for the extension for your 2020 taxes, you do need to file those prior to applying. And I don't see any other questions in the chat. And Angela, do you want to, what was the question that's in the chat?
There's a question, there are 2 new ones now. What qualified as a material step being taken to sell company assets that would disqualify a company from being eligible? If you have any further guidance on what it is that would disqualify them if they've started to dissolve. Then I'll let you address that one. Then there's another question.
Okay, so for that, we'll definitely go back to DCO to get a specific answer for that. And Kayla's here. She is with Team Red from DCO. I don't want to put her on the spot. If you do want to try to address that, you can, Kayla, by all means.
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to mention that the part of this, opening up the guidelines and information about the program early is so that we can gather questions like this and to be able to provide answers for folks, prior to the portal opening on the 18th. So I'm really glad for the questions, and we're going to collect them and make sure that we provide responses the best that we can. So, obviously there are some material steps that you can think of, like a bankruptcy or, maybe a notice, or something like that. That's going to be up to,
or if you've started selling your assets. I mean, if you are taking the steps to closing the business, shutting your doors, to liquidating things, those are the material steps. Again, we'll get an official answer for you, but this business or this opportunity is available to businesses that are currently operating, that have operated through the pandemic. And unfortunately, there's been a lot of businesses have closed their doors or continue to move through that process. This here is for those that intend to continue to move forward. Angela, the next question.
The next question says, is there any guidance for the bank statement we should select and submit? For instance, do we need to look at a month that shows lowest revenue and highest expenses to help our applications?
Mm-hmm. So for the bank statements, in looking to the 2019 statement, I believe it was April through December 2019, somewhere in there, what the guidance for that is something that shows that you had business expenses. So they're wanting to show something that shows proof that you were operating in 2019. As far as the calculation for your grant award, if awarded a grant, they're going off your federal taxes from 19 and 2020 that you're submitting. So you don't necessarily have to show a bank statement that's the lowest amount, but you need to show a bank statement that has business expenses on it. And then also for the 2020 is your most recent one.
So just correction, your bank statement actually is for between April and December 2020. And then the most recent one you've received.
Okay, sorry, yes. Very good questions. Any additional questions?
That was the last question.
Awesome. So we do on the website have a inquiry form where you can submit a question. So if you get a chance to watch this later or something comes up and you have a question, send it to us. We do have our contact information on there on the presentation as well. It's on the website. You can reach out to us directly. We'll try to answer it to the best degree possible. If we don't know the answer, what we will do is go find it out. We will get back to you within a reasonable time. We do have the state that's willing to help, and we have professional services as well. Again, this is one of many that we intend to host for webinars. We'll host them as a group together, and then the individual counties will host them individually too. We intend to do a lot of outreach and to really help and guide you guys through not only this program, but future ones that come out through the rest of the year. So very excited about this, and it's a huge opportunity for us here. We definitely want to position you guys for success and try to get you as much information, stay informed as much as possible. Any additional questions that had came in? I think I see a couple things. So we are a very small business, retail florist. We have shown over a $50,000. And are we too small to apply? So no. And I believe somebody, oh, Jennifer, yes, thank you. No, you're not too small to apply. What you do have to have is show at least $5,000 in gross revenue for 2019. And even if you just open your doors in mid-December, they'll annualize it. So you don't have to show at least $5,000 in the last week of 2019. If that's when you opened your doors, they'll annualize it throughout the year. But you're not too small to apply. All right, and there was a real estate holding companies dependent on rental income eligible. Kayla, what was that question?
That's the Q&A. There was a couple questions that were in the Q&A, and that was one of them. Are real estate holding companies dependent on rental income eligible?
So they had in here that if you derive that you are not eligible, if you derive, I'm going back to this. So a business that derives the majority of its income as a owner of real property that leases that property to a tenant or tenants under a lease agreement is not eligible. Does that answer that question? I believe so. And Kayla, you said there was a couple questions in the Q&A. So maybe people are putting them in the Q&A versus the chat. Was there any additional?
I think you answered the other one already.
Awesome. And whoever had submitted that, our real estate holding companies dependent on rental and income eligible, reach out to me and we can have a little more in-depth conversation about that. Shoot me a quick email, cyokey, CYOCKEY at growfnmcountyil.com, and we'll continue that conversation. But thank you for everybody today. We've had a lot of fun, and this is exciting. It's a great opportunity to try to position our businesses to continue to succeed. I'm very fortunate to have these people here with me that we're partnering with, and to really push a regional effort forward to ensure that Southeastern and South Central Illinois is successful. And with that, I appreciate everybody coming today, and please visit www.ilbusinessnavigators.com. Thank you.